สวัสดีครับอาจารย์ครับครับ
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to another meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone is welcome to join. If you have any questions, you can wait in line and we'll go on a first come, first served basis. The first one tonight in the room is Felicia Chen from Malaysia. Felicia.
Good evening, Ajaan. I don't have question for tonight. My meditation progress is good. I can reach the body loose condition easily, remain mindful and peaceful continuously. Thank you very much for your guidance. Sadhu.
Okay. Happy to hear of your progress. Hope you keep it up. Don't lose it. You
Okay,
have to
thank you.
protect it more than your life. Okay.
Okay,
The Buddha said protect the Dhamma more than anything.
thank you very much, Ajaan.
Because nothing is worth more than the Dhamma.
Yeah, understood.
Dhamma, it's only Dhamma that can give you peace and permanent happiness. Okay, next. Nanapat
Sadhu.
from Ubon Ratchathani, Thailand.
I don't have any question ค่ะท่านอาจารย์
Okay. Yok Bay from New York. Go ahead, speak.
Good evening, brother. No question tonight. Only my daily report is maybe the same. We are still very busy in our hotel. That's why I am working that.
Okay. Next is Kok Sing from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajaan. I just like to clarify one of my doubts, and that is some time back, you have actually advised me to practice samatha meditation so as to achieve jhana and equanimity, such that if I have any physical sickness like fever, I do not need to go and reach out for painkiller and so on. So I'd like to clarify because presently I have a bit of running nose, so I was thinking whether to take the running nose medicine, but this running or should I just endure it and practice samatha meditation. So I'd like to hear your advice.
Well, think about when at the time, if you cannot get the medicine, what will you do?
If I cannot get the medicine, I will have to endure the suffering caused by the sickness of the body.
But if you can practice samatha, you will not suffer. So maybe it's a good time to test your samatha practice, whether you can live without using medicine and live with the condition that happens. But if you want to take, it's okay, but you're relying on the external source for your comfort. It's better to rely on your own resource for comfort. Because then you can do it all the time with every other type of illnesses.
Sorry, Prajan, when you say own resources, you are referring to?
Yeah, samatha, equanimity, mindfulness, or wisdom.
Okay, I will try it out. Yeah. Thank you, Prajan.
Okay. That's why we are here to learn to develop our own resource, our own refuge, so that we don't have to rely on other things for refuge. Because other things are not reliable, not always reliable. They not always be there for you when you need. But your own resource will always be with you, will be there for you when you need it. Okay.
Okay, I'll try it out.
Next, Willie Mechi from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajaan. Today I don't have any question. Thank you.
So far, so good with your new life,
Yes, Ajaan.
better than before.
Yeah, I feel much better than before. I enjoy the life in a monastery, and I can enjoy practice in this setting.
Yeah. As a lay person, you can be tempted by your defilements to go do other things. But once
Yes,
you live
that's
in a
right.
monastery as a mechi, then you know what you cannot do and what you can do.
Yes, that's right.
So it helps you if you want to go the spiritual path. Living in a monastery, being a mechi is better than
Yeah.
stay at home as a lay person.
Yes, Ajaan.
Okay. Kwan Lee Man from Malaysia.
Tanajan, I feel my mind is empty and there is less thoughts, but I couldn't maintain continuous mindfulness. But when I feel heaviness in the head when I try to find the thoughts. Can Tanajan please correct my practice?
You don't need to find your thoughts. If it's not there, then don't worry about it. Just try to stay calm and just not reacting to anything emotionally. Just to be aware, to acknowledge, to know what's happening. But don't react with love, hate, delusion, or fear.
Okay. Now I try to be mindful about the activities of the body. And when I'm tired of watching the activities, can I chant empty, empty as the mantra to keep the mindfulness?
You can try it, see if it works for you or not.
Mm.
Mantra is just a word. It can be Buddho, Namo, Sangho, Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta, whatever it is to stop your mind from thinking, reacting emotionally.
Ajaan, can we say that mindfulness is to keep the knowing elements on what is happening in the mind and body?
Keeps the knowing element from reacting to anything. Just to merely be acknowledging or merely knowing, but not reacting emotionally. If it requires reaction, it will use rationality, loving kindness to react, not react with hate or greed or fear. If you have strong mindfulness, your mind can just remain non-reacting. It's the safest thing for the mind to do, is not to react.
So I have to develop continuous mindfulness so that it will develop further.
Yes, that's the goal. The goal is to continue to develop. And at the same time also develop more equanimity by doing more meditation and also. When you have nothing to do, you should meditate. Instead of going after sensual objects, you should meditate.
No,
Don't watch YouTube, don't listen to anything. Don't talk to people if you don't have to. Try to stay alone as much as possible. And meditate.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Ajaan.
Mechi Mamio from Thailand.
Good evening,ท่านอาจารย์
Yes, go ahead. Can hear you.
I have no question today.
Okay.
ค่ะ
Eugene from Taiwan. Are you from Taipei or somewhere else?
I'm from Changhua,
Changhua,
middle of Taiwan.
Taiwan, north or south of Taipei.
Oh, before I stay in Taipei for a long time.
Is
But-
it north or south of Taipei, or east or west of Taipei?
South.
South of Taipei. Okay. Closer to China, further away from China, from mainland.
Actually, in our Taiwan opinion, different countries, because law and living is different. So
Yes, I mean the location.
location is a little bit far.
Farther from Taipei and
Yes, need across the ocean.
I see. Okay.
Good evening.
Okay. You have any question?
Yes, I have three questions. The first question is, how can I introduce the triple gen Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha for young people and the friends around me in an easy way?
Well, there are simple books that introduce what Buddhism is. Just search for the word what Buddhism is. What is Buddhism? I have an article in the kamathana.com website, which you can go and read and introduce people to what Buddhism is. It's a short article, but it's brief and precise. So, or you can search for the word what is Buddhism?
Okay.
In the internet.
Because I think elder people, they are interested to do ceremony and sweatmom and reciting sutra and mantra, but young people, they don't want too many ceremony.
They want to know the essence of Buddhism,
Yes.
not the ritual of Buddhism.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, let them search for the word, what is Buddhism? Or what is Theravada Buddhism, more precise. Theravada Buddhism. Yeah, this is the one we are discussing right now is Theravada Buddhism.
Mm. Okay, I will try to. The writer is Rahula.
There's several people writing, so you can choose which one you want to read.
Okay, I use Google to search.
Yeah.
Then the second question is simple. In your opinion, what's difference between Buddha, Arahant, Bodhisattva? There's no difference or final result?
They're different. And Buddha is a self-enlightened. He sought enlightenment without the help of other people.
Mhm.
He became enlightened by his own ability. While Arahants are those who became enlightened because they studied the teaching of the Buddha, from the Buddha.
Oh,
While a Bodhisattva is someone who is seeking enlightenment. Okay, is this clear enough?
so the final Buddhahood and the Arahanthood is totally the same, right?
They reach Nibbana, the same
Oh.
destination, with different method. The Buddha reached Nibbana by himself,
Mhm.
while the Arahant has to wait for the Buddha to tell them the path, the way.
Uh-huh.
A Bodhisattva is someone who's seeking Nibbana
Someone who's
himself.
searching
searching.
Nibbana by themselves.
Yeah, until when they found the Nibbana, they became Buddha.
Okay, it's very clear. Then the final question, several ways from you taught me to practice the Putto be a non-stop mantra to cut my thought. At first, I full energy to do it. Then after 1 or 2 weeks, I feel energy become less and less. I know it's also anicca, everything impermanence. But may I make short examples? When I first time go to Thailand, I eat tom yum. I feel very special, want it more. But after several times, I feel the taste become less and less. So how should I do to continue full energy to do practice Putto?
Well, you can take a short break, and then when you feel you don't have energy, then you can use the Bhutto again. So you can take a brief break if you feel it becomes monotonous or common. But actually, it shouldn't be, because if you can keep reciting Bhutto, you should be more energetic, actually. So I'm not sure what's the reason for you losing the energy. Maybe because you're not reciting Bhutto enough.
Oh, okay, then I try more.
Yeah, you should try more. When you don't have energy, then you should start. It means you're not reciting Bhutto anymore, right? Okay.
I try to find the reason, and the next time, if I still have some question, I will ask you again. Thank you, Paza.
I think usually it's because you stop reciting Bhutto. When you lose that, then you lose energy. But if you keep reciting Bhutto, then you have strong energy.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Next, Kafai Lim from Malaysia.
Good day to you, Ajaan. Yeah, today I have more like one question. A few respect heard of the Mangala Sutta. The more I look at the meanings, it really complement the practice of Dharma. It's actually more like it says about the blessing. It's all about the blessing. It just want to make sure that my understanding is correct.
Actually, it's the blueprint to get to Nibbana.
Mm.
38 steps to Nibbana.
Yes,
You can
yes.
translate it that way.
Yeah. I look at it and it's somehow really the description, the 38 blessing.
And you can look at yourself and measure which steps are you in now.
Yes, yes. I found it very, very effective, like to look at the practice, the steps, and all of them are the blessing. Yeah, as part of the practice, I'm really looking forward to each of them, and to make sure that it is a good findings from my side as well.
Yes, they complement each other.
Yes.
They assist each other on your path to enlightenment.
Yeah, they're good to know. I just want to have that clarification. Yeah, I'm very grateful to know that.
Yeah, you should study the 32 Mangala steps and then try to see which steps you haven't yet followed.
Yes.
First step is to associate with the wise and avoid the foolish.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you don't learn anything from the foolish people, you learn from the wise.
Yeah.
Especially the wise in Dhamma here. It means wise in Dhamma.
Yeah. And then also one of them is listening to Dhamma. Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, anything else?
No, that's all. Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay, next Claudia from Germany, from Nuremberg, Germany.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Ajaan.
School almost starts for you, huh?
Excuse me?
School. You have
Yes.
to go back to work.
School will start on September 12th.
Still
So
2 more weeks.
2 more weeks, and I will be able to be at the conference also on September 12th, because September 12th is the first day of school and school will end soon. So I probably can be here on September 12th.
Okay. Any question tonight?
Not at the moment. Thank you. And thank you for your teaching.
Okay, you're welcome. Professor Chen, you're in your new apartment now?
This is my office and
Yeah,
work.
School.
Yeah, in the school. So I moved my office. I also moved my private apartment. And now everything is finished. So
good. Haven't seen you a couple of weeks now.
Yeah, I managed to spend some time in the monastery here to practice a couple of weeks ago. So I was practicing in the quiet. So it was very good.
You have anything to ask?
Just to say, I'm now working on the translation with Claudia. It's actually very enjoyable because it's the Dhamma for the Asking Volume 2, the Skype sessions.
I see.
And I remember way back at that time, I was listening to the sessions live at the time. So it's a very enjoyable experience to go back. I think that was 8 years ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah, but the teaching is just as fresh as ever. So thank you, Ajaan.
Yeah, Dhamma is timeless. It doesn't fade away with time or change with time. It remains the same. Like the law of karma. This is the eternal law. It never changes. Good karma brings happiness, bad karma brings suffering.
Yeah, so I find this exercise of checking, although I'm not a native speaker of German, it's a very good practice to go through the teaching again. So thank you.
Yeah, I hope it can be useful to the German speaker, people interested in Buddhism.
I must say the writing, the translation from Claudia is very beautiful rendition. So it's going to be good for the German speakers.
This is part of the making yourself happy and other people happy, is to give Dhamma as a gift to other people.
I feel I'm happy to do this exercise.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good. Okay. Keep it up. Don't give
Thank
up.
you.
Don't stop.
A long way to go.
Yeah. But don't forget about your practice also.
No,
Don't
no,
be- Yeah. Don't be distracted by this work.
no.
Your practice should always come first.
Of course.
This only supplement your practice.
Mhm. That's the way I do it. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Okay, thank you, Tanajan.
Next. Hi, Alfredo. Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Hi, Bante.
Nadu.
Okay,
Good.
good.
Okay.
I am doing my canticles,
Your what?
my recitations is okay.
Your meditation is okay. Good.
No recitations.
Our recitation, Bhutto.
No, my Dhamma aspects of Dhamma. 3 characteristics: or number truth,
I see.
hindrances,
Contemplation.
contemplation. My contemplation is okay. My sati is more powerful.
So you let go of everything. You don't attach or cling to anything, right?
Yes,
Everything
try.
is anicca, dukkha, anatta.
yes.
Good. Especially your body. You have to not cling to it. You look after it, but you should not cling to it. If you cannot look after it, if it wants to go, you say goodbye, okay, goodbye. You are not the
Yes.
body. You're just a caretaker of the body.
Yes. The same in Farjana, the same aspect, the same Vedana or Farjana.
Jhana.
No,
Yeah, when you're in jhana, you let go of everything.
yes, no things.
Yeah, but you cannot stay in jhana all the time. So when you come out
Yes.
jhana, you have to rely on contemplation, on wisdom,
Wisdom.
to
Yes,
remind you to let go, not to cling.
yes. I like Asubas too.
Yeah, that's the one way of not clinging is to look at a super.
Yes,
If you see beautiful body, then you cling to that body. But when you see a super, then you let go of that body.
yes. Opanaiko, Bante. Very profound.
Okay. Right.
Right.
Good.
The happiness in Dhamma is important, né, Bante? Happiness for Dhamma. Né?
Happiness in Dhamma is the highest form of happiness.
Yes.
Okay. Stick to the Dhamma. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Next, Ken Genso. Ken Genso from Penang.
Ajaan, good evening. I just want to say Sadhu times 3 to Mr. Gaudia for the translation and Professor. Yeah.
Okay. Next, Sri and Jack from Vancouver, to Canada.
Look at them.
Ajaan,
Yes.
may I congratulate Claudia and Professor? Good work.
Have you read the book already? Have you seen the book?
I don't know German. Ajaan. Unfortunately, I don't know German. I know. I only know Mandarin and English.
Yeah.
I don't know German.
Maybe you can translate into Mandarin.
My Mandarin is not good enough.
It's not good enough.
Maybe Eugene from Taiwan. I think their Mandarin is better in Taiwan. Ajaan, when you say like not reactive, is it the mind not reactive or the physical? Like, let's say somebody is composed on the outside, but their mind is in turmoil. So meaning that they are still reacting, right, Ajahn? That's still that's reacting.
If the mind is not calm, then it is reacting, it's in motion. You want to keep the mind still.
So when you say reacting, it's the mind, it's not the body, like not.
No,
like,
no, the body doesn't know anything. It's the mind that knows all the essential objects and the mental objects, and it keep reacting to these things constantly all the time. So you have to practice meditation to stop all this reaction. When you get into jhana, then all reactions temporarily stop, and the mind becomes empty, peaceful. But when you come out of jhana, it will start reacting again. So you have to use either mindfulness or wisdom. If you don't know how to use wisdom, you continue on using mindfulness. Like keeping reciting Bhutto, Bhutto. When your mind starts to become agitated or restless, you keep reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. Anxiety, become anxious, worry, anything. Or greedy, or cravings, and you can use mindfulness. Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. Or if you use wisdom, you teach the mind that the things you are reacting to are anicca, dukkha, anatta. They're essentially they are illusion. They are not real. They're like movies. You watch movies and you react to movies, right?
Yeah.
But in reality, you know, things happen in the movie cannot happen to you. But you don't know this. You think what things happen in life is happening, is affecting you, but actually you're just like an audience, somebody watching a movie. And things happening in the movie cannot hurt or harm you or affect you. But since you don't control your thought, you went along with the movies and feel as if you're in the movies yourself, right? So with mindfulness and wisdom, you can separate the watcher from the movie. Everything that we hear are like movies, and the mind is the one who is watching this movie, and thought it is, and thinking it is real, and that it is in the movie itself, in the body. But the body is just a character in the movie. You have to get into jhana before you can see the difference between the body and the knower and everything else. So jhana is very important for you to be able to see reality as it should be. That's not what you think it is. Right now, the reality that you see are all conjured or interpreted by your delusion. But when you can separate the mind from the body, then you see that the mind is the only reality. The rest are all illusion. Because everything else don't last, right? Everything comes and goes. They're like bubbles. So they're like illusions. They call what you call mirage. They're like a mirage. The only real is the mind, the knower. But the mind becomes deluded and think everything is real. Everything that it comes into contact with are real. But they are illusions because they don't last. They come and go. Look at all the people in history. Where are they now? They're all gone, right?
Yeah.
So are we. We will be gone too one day. All of us. We are just like bubbles. Bubbles form and then they break up. Our body forms and then they will break up. So you shouldn't take things seriously. You should look at it as a joke. Life is a joke. Why get so serious about it?
Life is a joke.
You can see Ajaan Dukkha Anatta, you understand that it is a joke. It's not real. Impermanent. Anicca means impermanent. Anatta is something you cannot control. Keep under your control. Keep it with you forever. So if we understand this, then we look at life as like an audience watching a movie. The audience watching a movie. And don't get involved in what you see. Don't get emotionally involved. Just know it's just a movie. When the movie ends, you go walk out of the theater. You don't take anything with you from the movie.
But you can still like react in the rational and
yes, compassionate with the Brahma Vihara.
Oh.
When you react, Buddha, Arahant reacts with Brahma Vihara and rationality.
Rationality. Like for example, Long Dharma Buddha have tears. That's like react with gratitude, like to the Buddha.
Yeah, I think so.
And that's a different, like that's not.
Yeah, it's not emotional. It's not sadness.
It's not what? Sorry.
Not sadness.
Sadness. Oh. That Ajahn, like if like if for example you're saying like life is a mirage, but when we are in samadhi we can actually see that life is a mirage. We can actually see the difference like in samadhi.
Yeah, because you're in samadhi, everything disappears. All you have is emptiness.
But how come we cannot get enlightened when we get to samadhi?
Because it's temporarily. It's temporarily. When you come out, you forget that emptiness, and you're back, and you thought you're back into reality.
Oh.
So you have to use wisdom. You have to be able to see the three characteristics, which you don't see. When you come out, you start to see yourself, a person, me, I, mine. And you have to really study all these objects that you see, and you can see that they are just made up from the four elements. Everything in this physical world are made from the four elements. So they are natural, they are our work of nature. Like the sun and the rain and the wind and the flood, the river, the sea. This is our work of nature. And our body is just made from these four elements, from the water, and the earth, the wind, and the fire. And it don't last forever. After it's being formed, it eventually will then be dissolved, return back to the original element. So this is a constant process of integrating and disintegrating of the four elements, like bubbles. New bubbles form and old bubbles break up, disappear, replaced by new bubbles. New body appear and old body disappear. And the mind that becomes attached to each body has the delusion to think that it is the body. So it clings to the body, and it doesn't want the body to disintegrate. When that happens, it gets dukkha because it doesn't want it to disintegrate. Craving for being. It wants its body to last forever. So when you have craving for something that cannot last forever, then you have dukkha. But once you understand that you cannot crave for permanence in the impermanence, you cannot crave for a self in something that has no self. You cannot crave for happiness in something that is suffering.
That's beautiful.
So this is understanding the three characteristics of existence. But our mind, our delusion keep expecting things to last, keep expecting things to be good, to bring happiness, to give happiness. But when they don't come with your expectation, you get dukkha, you get sadness, you get disappointment. That's because you don't see reality, the truth, that you cannot expect permanence. You cannot expect things to be loved to you forever. You can expect things to give you happiness all the time. And then the thing that gives you happiness can turn into sadness for you. This is contemplation on the three characteristics of existence. Of all forms, animate and inanimate existence. Not just only the animate, the inanimate also. Things like trees, houses, and things like this. They also are impermanent. Okay, anything else? So meditate, get into jhana, and you understand better. You have to enter the spiritual world to get to know the mind. Right now you are in the physical world. The mind has to get itself outside of the physical world to look at itself, to be able to see itself. Right now it keeps seeing the body.
That's true.
All right.
Ajaan, one quick question. Like, is the craving like upadana the reaction, the result from tanha?
What do you mean? Craving of tanha is the one. It's the same thing.
Yeah, the same thing. Like the desire and craving, like we consider is the same.
The cravings, then you have what you call attachments. When you crave for something, when you get it, you attach to that something. You don't want to give it up. You don't want to lose it. But in truth, you will lose everything that you have, that you get.
Okay.
So when you lose it, you're craving, you get new cravings to replace what you lose, right? So you keep replacing. You lose this body, you replace this body. So you have rebirth. But if you can stop all your cravings, then you don't need to have anything to make you happy. You can be happy existing alone. The mind can be happy by itself, of itself. It doesn't need anything to make it happen. But the delusion is telling the mind that it needs to have things to make itself happy. It needs essential objects. It needs objects, mental objects, to make it happy. But instead of making it happy all the time, it also gets unhappiness, sadness, because all these sensual objects are not constant or not permanent. They constantly keep changing. So when they change from good to bad, then you get sadness. From happiness, you get sadness. But if you don't rely on them to give you happiness, then you don't get any sadness from them either. Okay.
Ajahn, you say life is a joke. Is that why you have such a great sense of humor? I really enjoy your great sense of humor. Ajahn, they say that laughter is the best medicine. And I think for me, I think Dharma is the best medicine. And Tan Ajahn combined the laughter and the Dharma. So Tan Ajahn makes like a super medicine.
So Dhamma is laughter. If you have Dhamma, then you can laugh at everything.
So the Buddha is also have a great sense of humor, Ajahn.
Yeah, and all the enlightened,
Oh, the Arahant.
and they are happy. They are always smiling, like happy Buddha. Have you seen a sad Buddha? They are happy Buddha, happy Arahant.
But they have different character. I think like some like Long Ta, like they describe him like a tiger, right? But I mean he's happy inside. Maybe he's just pretending. Maybe. Just
to use it as a teaching tool.
Yeah.
You have to be fierce so that your student will believe you. When you say, you can do it. If you're wishy-washy, then they take it easy.
Yeah.
He doesn't want us to take it easy. He wants us to really practice. To be serious with practice before you can reach to a point where you don't have to be serious with anything. All right, let me go to the other people. We can come back later on when we have more time. Okay, Adelaide, how are you, Michelle?
Good evening, Tanajan.
How's your health? Okay.
Well, it's improving little by little, and we will know in 2 months more if I have to be operated again. But now I'm practicing where I am.
Still in Udon Thani, in
the forest in town, in the kuti, in the mini forest.
Not Ajaan class monastery.
No, I cannot, because the ground is not appropriate for me to walk on. It's dangerous.
Okay.
I cannot walk properly actually, so I have to have a safe condition.
So is this monastery near the city of Udon?
It's not a monastery. It's when I was in Wat Phra with Ajahn Martin, I used to come there to do Wi-Fi work when I had administrative work for visa and so on. And so I met those people, and they have a little guest house with 4 kuti in a mini forest in Udon Thani city,
Okay.
And it's really a mini forest. And in fact, they nearly have no guests at all. And they have a kuti for me, and it's very quiet, and it's in the forest. It's the trees, and it's very quiet. So it's a very good condition for practice.
Yeah.
Except that there are lay people with all their issue, and not practicing, and that is also a problem, But okay, I try to do with what I have, and we take the best opportunity with what I have.
All right. You have any question tonight?
No, thank you. There is a Kuba Ajaan who he doesn't want me to go back to the monastery because he said I have to sit down and have people caring and so and so. And he said I will come very often to see you and teach you. Then he's coming at my place. I'm very blessed, very blessed.
Okay, good. All right. Nothing else to say. Okay. Good talking to you. Next, Christine Goe from Malaysia or Indonesia.
Long Po, good afternoon. Good evening, sorry. Good evening. Yeah, I'm from Penang, Malaysia.
Okay.
Yeah, I have one question. For all the sainthood, start from Sotapan. So, do they have body suffering if they sick?
They still have the same thing. The body doesn't change, doesn't become enlightened with the mind. It's only the mind that becomes enlightened. The body still get old, get sick, and die. But the mind is not affected by the aging sickness of the body.
So when they, when they sick, they still suffer with the body?
They don't suffer. They don't suffer.
No suffer.
But they experience the pain of the body. But they don't react to the pain. They have equanimity.
So example, if like they how do I say, when skin or organ, when they feel sick, like before they die, so the body still pain, then they don't.
The body is pain, but the mind is not pain with the body. Doesn't feel pain with the body. It feels pain, but it doesn't react to the pain. It doesn't have any dukkha from the pain.
So that means once we all achieve Sotapan and above, we will relieve from the pain.
You will not be affected by the pain, but you still experience the pain. So you can coexist with the pain. Okay, the body still remains the same. It still get old, get sick, and die. It still gets hungry. It still gets thirsty. So when it's thirsty, you have to give it water to drink. When it's hungry, you have to give it food for it to eat. But if you cannot find food or water, you will not feel bad about it. The mind will not feel bad about it.
So they all won't feel suffering.
They don't suffer. The mind don't suffer. It's only the body that suffers.
That's all my question.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next, Belinda from Singapore.
Hello, Ajaan. The first time I jotted down some questions for you.
Okay.
But I'd like to update you that I've increased my frequency calling mom at least once a week. But I have exit plan, make sure like it's still like 10 minutes chat. And okay. And then last week I asked you about crystal ball crystal ball different methods. I have tried it feels to more like visualization where we visualize ourselves inside the crystal ball. So I just listen to instructions, but I didn't practice it. In the past, these past days I tried to practice metta bhavana. Okay, earlier discussion you have it Check and Sui. we talk about illusions and like life is jokes. And I've been quite serious about some of the friends who talk to me about this certain Buddhist practice or even other practices. They have the guru disciples union, and the explanation is that it's just bubbles, it's just illusion, and not to take it seriously. But for me, this is something that is I think union is only between my husband and wife, or in a committed relationship. It's not some guru disciples. So like when a group of people who talk to me, they also use the same reason, like it's just bubbles, it's just illusions, like just a mix of elements, the sort of the color line. So I feel very serious about it. But that said, I don't go against people, but I know what I want. But I'm concerned that if so I become a little worried, like I might get because in the past I have experiences when my friends want to introduce their teacher to me, their yoga teachers and things like that. Then later I discover that it's actually not aligned with the Sakyamuni Buddha's teaching, Gautama Buddha's teaching. So then I feel it's more down to earth to follow. I feel I prefer to stick to Sila. That is what is being taught by Sakyamuni Buddha. Union is only happen between husband and wife or committed relationship, but not the guru-disciple relationship. So I take it very seriously when it comes to such. But I met a group of people who talk about these are just illusions and along the same line like what Ajaan has explained. So these are a little gray area where, so these are the things that I hear from. So I was very serious about it, and I'm starting to feel worried that I might get to know certain people, and they might cast something that that might trigger my own delusion, my own greed, my own lust. So it's not easy to discern or to how to draw the line. So I'm very rigid about this. So maybe Ajaan can comment on that.
Well, you have to, if you want to be strict, you have to be strict with your practice of charity, morality, and meditation. This is your lifeline to, if you cling to these practices, you will be safe. So other things you can think them as illusion. But this is not illusion, the practice of charity, morality, and meditation.
Okay.
It's essential for your freedom from illusion. It will take you to a point where you start to see that everything is just an illusion.
So it's good to cling. Yeah, I got you, Ajaan. Then I have the second question. It's about like when calling mom, and recently we have Ulabama festival. We do have Ulabama where we commemorate our past parents or deceased parents, people who have passed on. So I want to ask you, Ajaan, about ancestors. Ultimately, it's also illusion. There's no ancestor and all.
I mean, they're gone. They're no longer in this world. They're in the spiritual or somewhere, or reborn as some other form of human or animals. So, but occasionally there might be one stray spiritual who still needs some merit, and that spiritual might come and ask for your help, like in your dreams or coming and have some kind of signal, show you some signals that they need your help, something like that. Then you make merit. Then you do charity, and then you share the merits from charity with that individual. who came to ask for your help. But we do it as a matter of precaution. We do it anyway, whether we have anybody coming seeking our help or not. We presume that it doesn't hurt to do it. And if the individual need the help, they can get it. If they don't need the help, you don't lose anything. You still have the merit. The merit comes back to you. Okay.
Ajahn, so I hear you about the clinging to our sila, morality, the basic Sakyamuni Buddha's teaching, the Eightfold Noble Path. But meanwhile, suppose I encounter people around me who have different practices. We want to draw I have respect to individual choices, but at the same time I like to set boundaries because I don't feel that my mind is very strong to be able to like hold. So is it okay if I just chant Itipiso every day so I get to, or if I should chant Buddha Buddha just to make sure the mind get anchored and then not get pulled away?
Do it. You have to do it to find out whether it works or not. Don't ask me. You have to prove it to yourself.
Ajahn, I did it. Ajahn, I when I mingle with friends and then they talk about such things, and I chant with Itipiso, just to protect my own mind. That I hope that my mind isn't.
Maybe it's better not to mingle with them at all. Then you don't have to chant.
Yeah.
So try to avoid mingling as much as possible. Only mingle with people you really have to, and briefly. Make it as brief as possible. Always seek seclusion, seek solitude.
But if you are okay, but if you're not sure, then you just be careful. Like you say, you stay mindful as much, because we at this point, as a lay person, we still have to have certain level of social contact. But so when we have conversation, or we have to just remain mindful, or can we, or do we always?
If your mind remain calm, then you don't need to recite. But if your mind starts to become agitated or restless or emotionally charged, then you have to recite whatever you like, Itipiso, Butto, or whatever. But by that time, it'll be too late. Because the fire has already gone out of control. So you have to know as soon as you start to become emotionally charged, then you have to start reciting Butto. But sometimes it's very hard to detect. You can only detect it when it already becomes a large fire.
And at that point, we need help.
It's better just to demingle, just excuse yourself and go to the toilet.
Okay, panic room. Okay, Tanajan, thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Philip and Adeline from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajaan. May you be well and happy. I personally don't have any questions. Adeline, do you have any?
Not right now, Ajahn.
Not right now.
Okay.
Happy to be listening. Thank you.
Gary from Singapore. Gary.
Good evening, Ajaan. There's this one question. Actually, I just remembered something that was taught to me from Thai Kubachan. He says, "Mai yin di, mai yin lai," which means no like or dislike.
That's right. No like or dislike. No love or hate.
Just stay in the middle.
It's equanimity.
Okay. All right. I think that's.
When you have equanimity, you have no like or dislike, or fear or delusion.
Okay. Okay, Ajaan, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Albini from Malaysia.
Good evening, Tanajan. Tanajan, I've got a question, not related to practice. It's more of how to deal with when we see, we know a bogus monk, Tanajan, collecting money, alms bowl, right in it's like maybe late in the afternoon. How do we deal with people like this, Tanajan? Do we just ignore them?
Deal everybody like you deal with the weather. You leave the weather alone. Let the weather be. Let them be. Or if you can manage them, manage them. If you cannot deal or manage them, then just treat them like the weather. Anatta. Anicca. They come and go. They come into your life briefly and then they go out of your life.
Yeah. You go in the restaurant, sometimes you come in and ask for money. Yeah.
You mean beggar, people who wants to, you have to see if they're really in need or not. If just to satisfy your conscience, then you might just give whatever you think is appropriate for that person. If you see that it's a nuisance or it's encouraging people from doing something for themselves, and you might not give. It depends on the situation.
But they are tarnishing Buddhism, isn't it? I mean, they're wearing monk's robe and become, it's like bogus monk.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but nowadays there are many people who are there without the proper teacher. They don't know how to behave properly as a monk.
Okay, I know what to do. Yeah, just treat them like weather.
Okay. Next, Rusli from Indonesia. How are you, Rusli?
Good evening, Ajaan. I'm good, thank you, Ajaan. How are you?
Good.
I don't have any question for tonight. Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay. Next is Chittakorn. Chittakorn, where are you from? Okay, you can speak now. Go ahead.
อาจารย์คะหนูคนไทยค่ะต้องพูดภาษาอังกฤษเปล่าคะ
ต้องพูดภาษาอังกฤษแต่นี่มันท่องภาษาอังกฤษนะ
อ๋อเหรอคะthis is my first time so I just found YouTube so I join in
If you want to speak Thai, you have to wait for tomorrow night at the same time tomorrow night.
Okay thank you
Okay. Next, United States ID. Who is this? Okay.
Namaskar Kanoi and Tommy says I'm coming on Facebook. I don't have any questions today.
Okay. V. Robin from Bangkok. You're next.
Hi, good evening, Tanajan. I was just admiring the analogy you made about having a panic room, using the restroom as a panic. I just related it. Rest your mind.
Yeah.
Restroom.
That's the safest place, right? Nobody bothers you.
Yes. Just come to think of it, it's very useful. Sometimes if we are panicking, we don't know what to do. Just excuse ourselves.
Calm your mind. Go calm your mind.
Yes.
Regain your composure by reciting mantra, chanting, or
Yes, very useful indeed, Tanajan. I have a few questions. The first one is regarding you mentioned about jhana is temporary, but wisdom is permanent. So I'd just like to understand how is it that wisdom is permanent? And as in, I've heard stories that people who are partially enlightened from previous lives, they carry forward this wisdom to this life. So how is it that it sticks with them even though they are reborn? Or is it because the mind never dies and it just
That's right. The mind doesn't die, and what you have developed remain in your mind with you.
Oh,
Your understanding of things don't change. Your understanding of nature don't change. Like impermanence or anatta. This is something that you gain after you study or contemplate and investigate. And it has to be linked with the consequence of understand this thing. Because when you understand this thing, then you can stop your cravings or your desire for things. When you stop your craving, then the dukkha that arises from your craving will disappear. Then your mind remain calm and peaceful. But there are many objects that you still have to study or to investigate to see that they are all anicca, dukkha, anatta. That's why they have different levels of enlightenment, 4 levels of enlightenment. Wisdom will get rid of the defilement, which is the one that causing the mind not to have equanimity. Once there is no defilement, then the mind will remain in equanimity naturally, automatically. It's your defilement that causes your mind to come out from equanimity and never return. Actually, you have never returned back to equanimity. So you need to bring the mind back to equanimity. And the easiest way is to use mindfulness first. Mindfulness will bring the mind back to equanimity temporarily. Once you get back to equanimity, then you want to keep it in equanimity by using wisdom to prevent the defilement from causing the mind to come out of equanimity. By seeing that everything that the defilement wants is suffering, is dukkha, is anicca, is anatta. But if you think you can use wisdom, you can also use this wisdom to bring the mind into equanimity also. Like if you want a raise and your mind become agitated, and you say, what the hell is this raise? Money is just temporary thing. One day when you die, you're gonna lose it all anyway. So you might say, okay, I don't care if I get a raise or not. Then you stop your mind from being agitated or restless. And your mind can become calm. So if you know how to use wisdom, you can use wisdom. If you don't know how to use wisdom, then you have to use mindfulness. Bhutto, bhutto, bhutto.
So wisdom is born from samadhi. Is that right?
No, it's not born from samadhi. It's born from contemplation or investigation into seeing the 3 characteristics of existence. See dukkha in everything. When you see dukkha in everything, then you don't want anything, right? Anything you want will give you dukkha. So you don't want getting a raise can give you dukkha. Can you see that? You don't see that. You see, oh, it will give you happiness, right? Getting a raise. But for how long this happiness lasts? After 1 month or 2 months, you want another raise already.
Never ending.
Yeah, that's right. Never ending. And when you don't get it, then you get dukkha again. So it's not wanting to get a raise that will keep you happy all the time. Because then you will never be disappointed. And never have to expect for a raise. Because you don't want a raise in the first place. You're happy with what you have. Contentment is what you want to.
Yes. So it's kind of like taking things as they come.
Yes, be happy with what you have. Be thankful for what you get. Then you'll always be happy. Take things as they come.
Easier said than done, though.
And also know that whatever comes will also eventually go away anyway.
Yes.
Because everything is just an illusion. They're not real.
Yeah, that's something I need to try and wrap my mind around. Seeing things as illusion, then you don't cling to them because you know they're not real.
Because if you cling to them, when they disappear, then you get sadness, right?
Yes.
So you see everything will bring you sadness. So you don't want anything. You can exist alone without having anything. The mind can exist alone without having anything to make it happy. Then it will be really happy because it has contentment. Okay, any question?
Yeah.
Any more question?
Yes, just one more. I've read from some of the Buddha's teachings that the Buddha or some arahants would teach devas sometimes during they want to teach other than humans. So my question is, do devas have a body? Do they have the ability to listen to Dharma and become enlightened just as humans do?
The devas are like dream creatures, virtual creatures. When you dream, can you look at your own body? Can you look at yourself? You usually don't see yourself, right, in a dream. You dream, you go places, you eat, you anything like that, but you never look at yourself, right? You never see yourself in a dream.
Very rarely.
Okay. That's the same way with the devas. They are spiritual beings. They are dream creatures.
So they still have a mind, they still have the 5 khandhas. That's
just
why they can.
Just a 4 khandha, without the rupa khandha, without the body.
Oh.
And in order to reach them, you have to have psychic power. You have to have upajjhara samadhi. Like the Buddha, he have this ability to reach contact the spiritual beings. So he can give them Dhamma talks every night. You know the Buddha give Dhamma talks to Deva every night?
I read in a book somewhere.
Yeah. The Buddha has 5 activity daily activity. In the morning, he goes on arms round. In the afternoon, he teaches lay people Dhamma. In the evening, he teaches the monks and the bhikkhunis Dhamma. Late at night, he teaches the devas Dhamma. And in the morning, before he goes on bintabat, on arms round, he scans the mind of people to see who needs his Dhamma most. So he will go to that person to give him the Dhamma that they need. So this is the Buddha daily activities. 5 activities done by the Buddha every day for 45 years. He did nothing else. He didn't build temples, he didn't build anything. He built enlightened beings. That's why there's so many arahants during the Buddha's time. Nowadays, monks are more concerned about building monasteries, building buildings, building pagodas, building Buddha images.
Yes.
That's because they don't follow the Buddha's example. They take the Buddha as the refuge, but they never actually do what they say. They do exactly opposite what the Buddha would have done.
So people who were born in the Buddha's time are considered very lucky or very blessed.
Well, not so. If they're not able to use this teaching, it's not blessed either. It's not a blessing. So you have to be able to understand and appreciate this teaching. Then you are considered lucky. But if you don't appreciate it, you say, so what? You know, then it won't mean anything to you. Okay.
That's true. Yes. Well, consider blessed to be in Tanajan's presence. So thank you very much for your teachings.
All right. Next, Suchart from Pennsylvania. Working all the time, Suchart.
Good evening and Sawadee Krabท่านอาจารย์ thank you and yeah, that's a young man kind of pretty good idea and a good mention about I come to tell you about I got some homework about what was it about the word as mindfulness. So I go to the teacher in English. The professor said mind and full come into mindful. Then mindfulness. If the mindfulness is a higher word and also can be make decision right. That's what I said. Oh, mind is just a mind. You can have this, but mindful, you can think and you can decide what you do. But the fullness is always a positive way. You think, you decide, and you know. So this last week I didn't come in with C. So, but I think about it, and yeah, I study and I learn that it's make me do them homework, and also last word is like a wisdom, and I kind of start step by step about this, and also and really help me about my life. I stay in ton of people, society came from everywhere in the world, so it's make me kind of little calm, and when they say and just kind of ignore them, like pretty much helping me about this. So that's what I come to let you know. It's give me pretty much it's a help me calm and give my life a little bit easier, not get too mad, get angry, get get so pissed too much like that. So
okay, good.
Then I can
keep you calm, keep you happy.
Yes. So like you told me last time, said the kid grown up, it's not my fault. Let the life them going. So before I always thinking about them, about how they're doing. I didn't help them good enough. Maybe I didn't buy them a car or buy them a house or something. So it's just the way them life for some. So you told me, said let that go and don't push too much, and it's not my fault or something like so. But that's so good. So thank you, because I can talk to, and less of this world is you cannot express out, so they can listen. So thank you so much. And I try to get fly precept and 8. Sometimes I mess that up a lot of time with 8 precepts. It's because I go travel somewhere, so I get so hungry, then I eat it. So that's about it. So thank you so much, Ajaan. Thank you.
You're welcome. Next, Carissa, raise your hand.
ได้แล้วปะนมัสการเจ้าค่ะนมัสการเจ้าค่ะ
Okay, speak English.
It's หญิง
It's Ying from Chiang Mai พระอาจารย์
the cat and one dog
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Okay, I remember you.
Our dad passed away today เจ้าค่ะ
Okay.
and we would like to sharing about how we get through the tough week just the last week that is the really final week of our dad life and what the feeling of how we handle with the emotional because a lot of people think that we must cry but we didn't cry.
Yes, I didn't cry.
And people call whole day. Yeah.
Last week, I talked to you about the dialysis for my dad at the hospital, and then I went to the hospital to meet the kidney doctor, and he said my dad need to admit for do the reload the nutrition and things about the
calcium and sodium is very low.
Yes.
And we boost up his body with all the vitamin and stuff.
The doctor said, but just 3 hours passed, the doctor said my dad was shocked and get into the coma. And I use your word, you teach that you've been teaching me. I know because I catch up your teaching from the Tuesday that we met. Wednesday, Thursday, I keep catch up your teach, and I use it when the times come. My dad was shocked, and then I saw I มองดูเฉยๆที่พระอาจารย์บอกอะค่ะ
Yeah, just observe.
Yes, I just observe, and it's all responsible for of doctor and nurse, not me. So I just observe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. You
And
don't have-
I observe
you-
my
you
mind
don't-
as well.
You don't have to feel sad.
Yes, I not feel
Okay.
sad.
Feeling sad doesn't change anything.
Yes. Your conversation that past the Tuesday went up to my mind after I saw my dad talk, and I realized. So I thinking of Pajan, and then I use it well.
Yeah, that's the benefit of having the Dhamma. The Dhamma
Because
will have,
I got you, Pajan.
It's the
You
Dhamma.
teach me.
Yeah, but it's the Dhamma that teaches you.
Oh, okay. And sati, yes. And then after that, our dad have to go to the ICU, and doctor said he will not getting up again.
He been put the mask of the oxygen
Because he
Yeah.
said he's not
he not gonna wake up. That doctor said like, oh, I said at first he might perhaps not gonna wake up and be prepared for your things gonna happen, but he woke up.
Yes.
He woke up and he talked. So then he just at the ICU only one night. And the next day he get out. He come back home. He got back home, but with medicine on his arm.
Yeah.
The doctor put a little bit of
nutrition and morphine.
yeah to get less pain.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you talk to him, he understand everything. He knows. He turns like normal.
Like
you
normal.
can talk normal. When I asked him like, did you have pain? He said no pain and I'm hungry. I want to eat. So I feed him as what he wish, noodles, and he ate a whole bowl.
พอก่อนต้องพูดต่อว่ามันเป็นบุญยังไง
Yeah, so he is look normal at home, do everything normal.
Last 3 days that he got conscious, he said to me in the early of the morning, in every day, 3 days, Ying, you go give piku with the blanket and sock.
It's a tower. It's a tower.
And second day he said, Ying, you go เขาเรียกว่า
Buy buy food
for old people.
house.
Okay.
Yes, and next day he said,ทำทาน
Just keep donating.
Yes,
It's
Yeah.
smart. When he wake up, he
Charity,
said, "Oh, can you do this?
Give
Yes,
donation, give
yes.
donation.
Can you do this? Can we pay off for everyone like that? Can we
Yes.
buy this for this?" And
I do all he said.
did-
I did all he said, and then it's all done. And this morning, at 6 o'clock, he's not at his bed as normal. And then 7 o'clock, my mom cannot wake him up. Woke him up. He just passed away like peaceful.
Good. That's a
Yes.
good way to go.
no อสุภาพอาจารย์มันไม่มีอึอะค่ะ
no poo poo.
no poo and pee.
No excrement, no excrement.
Yes, it's clean. And then
Very just like normal sleeping people.
yes, and we already burned him.
Cremated him. Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
we burned him right away. Like
Yes.
10:30 we went to temple, and then 11:30 we burned him. At 12 we get back home.
Yes,
Okay.
it's all
What
done.
What you do with the ashes?
Tomorrow we will go get it.
Collect it, and then after that we will go to สัตหีบอาจารย์
I see. And scatter the ashes in the ocean.
Yes, and meet you.
Okay.
But after the monsoon season.
So maybe next month.
Mother says so.
All right. No need to cry. No need to
Not
be
cry.
sad.
Yeah,
Happy. She did cry before.
It's better for him and it's better for you now. You don't have to worry about him and he didn't have to suffer.
Yes, kind of that. I was crying before I met you before last Tuesday. But after that I remember your teach, and I catch up your teach every single day. อาจารย์
Okay, good.
ขอบพระคุณ
All right. Okay.
Thank you ค่ะอาจารย์
You're welcome. Next, Alexander Aruka. Arokaya Paramalapa. Aroka Paramalaka. Cannot hear you yet. You have to turn on your microphone. Unmute your microphone. Okay. Go ahead, speak.
You listen to me?
Yeah,
Oh.
speak louder, speak louder.
Oh, okay. I know why. Now it's better?
Okay, better.
Okay. Teacher, that was a lock of beginning lock. I don't know how to say this in English. When you first time you do something and you get lucky. And I start with this name, huh? Aroka. Aroka, yeah.
Aroka means having no illness.
Yeah, it is true.
It means having no illness. It's the greatest blessing.
I could cure all my illness when I was in Amazon. I had some, and not anymore. But okay, I need the hormone since I was born. You know, I have to reproduce hormone. I don't consider it sickness because otherwise I have hormone deficiency. So then the calcium not get fixed in the bone. So then I don't know if it's considered sickness, but further I have no sickness. I'm 64 and healthy, and now even more healthy after being with you.
You made good karma in the past. It's one of the consequences of making good karma. It makes you live longer and without sickness.
Sadhu, and have met you too. Good karma. I consider for me it's a very good karma, not only good. That's the best karma ever happened to me. It was after meeting Buddha teachings to meet you. Sadhu, good. Sadhu. Teacher, I have one more nice good karma history. I just find 6 monasteries here. One with Upajaya, and one is that's in Denmark. And one is in here, half hour from my house by car. But I go by bus, so it's 1 hour. And the monarch allowed me to put my Kutmobile. I bought a caravan that you pull with the car. and he allowed me to put in the stationament. So I am between the bush, between the cemetery and a temple, Buddhist, Damyuta. And he knows you and he respects you a lot. He showed me you in Thai. I think he follows you sometimes.
Is this a Thai monastery? Is this a Thai monastery? Or?
Yeah. Ladies, they bought it. The ex-church from Protestant church, very beautiful. They reformed it all. It's fantastic. They're bling bling, huh? Everything really fantastic. And I will place it in my Facebook, so you can see there, or I can send to Ajaan also some pictures, and he show you. And then then I'm back in my way. And I have more nice news. Actually, I feel like that is everything going the roll, one thing after the other, just like magic. The Dhamma is fluent in my life. You told me to when we get close to Upeka, when we have Upeka, we keep saying Buddha, 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 we may enter Jhana. Last time we met. So I did it, but then we to Anapanasati. We was in the dins, Avon, night dins. So then we just meditate 1 hour. They didn't allow me to go on. Somebody wake me up, not wake him up, touch me. He told maybe I was sleeping, because then was finishing the 1 hour meditation, and then so I could not go further, and that was 2 days ago. And so next day I try again, and it works. You just go on with focus on the breathing, and then you enter jhana. So what I had was almost an asanika jhana. So but I see everything changing the next day. Every time my mind go to the future, I pull it back. I can see it every time. And then I come to Buddha, Buddha, Buddha. So you see so much new, so nice karma, indeed what you said.
Okay. Is that all? You have nothing else to add or question?
Yeah, I have to go back to the monastery to put winter protection in my wagon, so I have to bring the bicycle to the shop. So I have more things. Yes, I dreamed that I was in somebody came to me and said, "I'm gonna show you some special psych powers. I'm gonna show you how to transform." And then I said, "Sorry, I'm not interested, because that's not my way. I don't want to go for magic powers. I go for jhanas. For jhanas, it's different way." And then the dream go on. Is that some sign that if I die, I already know the Dhamma? You remember Dhamma? The Dhamma. Sorry.
I cannot quite understand what you say, because the sound is quite not clear. I catch some of some of your words, but not entirely. So I'm not sure what's something wrong with your microphone or not, but it's not clear enough. But anyway, if you don't have any question, I'll go to the next question. Okay. All right. Okay. Next is Evie of Indonesia.
Namo Buddhaya, Ajaan. Can Ajaan hear me?
Yes, good.
Ajaan, how to build a fence between Khanda and our heart, so that everything I receive in my daily life doesn't hit my heart right away, whether it's good or bad, because everything is dukkha.
That's why you have to meditate to get to Ubeka. Once you have Ubeka, then everything will, you're not coming to your mind. You come and go. They don't stick to your mind.
I think I to using Budo, so it hit my head and I got the headache now.
I don't know. Then it's every time you come and talk, this is always the problem that you mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe to
Maybe you should do chanting first. Do some chanting. Itipiso. Itipiso. Bhagava Araham Samma Sambuddho Vichājarana Sampanno Sukhato Lokavitu. Keep chanting first. Maybe it's easier. Maybe one word is not too good for you. It's too repetitious. So you want something different. Maybe do chanting, long chanting.
repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat.
Yeah.
Not only Buddha. Yeah, because the Buddha maybe.
Yeah, it's too repetitious. It's too short, and you get bored. So chant long verses.
And the cause of my headache is the defilement or maybe through using energy.
Your mindfulness is not strong enough, so your defilement keep reacting negatively, keep creating these obstacles.
And make me headache. So the headache causes is the defilement. Because if it say I use too much energy, every day I was thinking the other thing that is so use the energy. Why cannot?
Because your defilement like those type of thinking. Your defilement doesn't like to recite Buddha. It's too boring. It's too boring. But thinking about making money, thinking about eating, thinking about buying, shopping, this is the defilement likes. You can think all day and you won't get a headache.
And no headache.
That's right.
If I Buddha, how can be headache? This is the big question. This is
because it's something that defilement hate. The defilements against the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. It's their enemies. They are bitter enemies. The Dhamma and the Kilesa are bitter enemies.
So I think the defilement is very terrible. Headache like this, so terrible.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Ajahn. Thank you, Ajahn.
I think that's all the people we have in the room. Do we have any newcomer? No more. Okay. And how about Facebook? Do you have any people from Facebook tonight? Question for Facebook?
Yes, we have 15 questions from Facebook, Ajaan.
Okay.
First person from Jitta. First of all, he would like to update his practice. Dear Ajaan, sorry to take up other Dhamma friends' time. Just a quick update about my fasting. By this Friday, September 2nd, for the past 31 days in practicing the continuous fasting, in turn with 1 day, 1 meal. I have done the 1-to-1 for 10 days, 2-to-1 for 9 days, and 3-to-1 for 12 days. I have to stop it as I am traveling soon and I will revert to my usual daily 1 meal during trips. However, I will reflect this fasting method and apply it in my daily life frequently in the future. Thank you, Ajaan, for teaching me this effective method. And there are 3 questions from Jitta. The first question is, Dear Ajaan, bowing to you in full respect. Sorry that I did not make the question clear last Tuesdays. Empty body in meditation. I mean for those meditators who experience their body disappearing or could not sense their physical body existence during meditation. It is because that they are contemplating anatta on their own body during meditation. I never thought about applying anatta on my own body. I'm only apply anicca plus anatta to handle those delusions and plan less during meditation. But this way to apply anatta on my own body sounds interesting. I would like to seek Ajaan advice in advance before try it. Thank you.
No, when you meditate, you stop your mind from thinking about anything, about anicca or anatta. You don't want to think. You want to disconnect the mind from the body by reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. So when the mind becomes disconnected from the body, then the body will disappear from the mind. You don't have to contemplate anatta or anicca for this. You just have to focus on the mantra or on your breathing, on your breath, to separate the mind from the body, to disconnect the mind from the body.
And second question, dear Thanachan, as for Asupha on 32 body parts, personally, I dislike blood and disgust any kinds of killing behind meat. So I found contemplating the lohitam or blood is more strong for me. While for the 10 stages of decaying crop, the last 3 stages of the breathing lohitaka and the worm-infested poluvaka and a skeleton attica make more sense for me. Organ-wise, I'm contemplating those major organs together with a whole picture. Is this sound correct? Thank you.
Well, the goal or the purpose is to let go of your sexual desire. So whichever parts of the body can do this job, then it's okay.
And the third question is, dear Thanachan, still regarding the Asupha, as most time I can mentally chant Putto in my most daily casual activities, so it won't be so difficult for me to switch Putto to visualize the breathing body, worm-infested body, skeleton body, or organ map of my own body as I wish. However, I am reluctant to contemplate this way on the other body, as it looks like very rude, as what I have mentioned before. I regard every life being as my kinsman or my kinswoman in my past life and try to respect them as much as I can. So I do not know how to proceed on contemplating Asupha on others' body. Will I become very cold or cruel like an X-ray machine if I see everyone as a skeleton, or that the price for seeing the truth? Thank you.
No, you just see things in a more obvious. You see, before you only look at half of the body. You look just at the outside. So you don't have a balanced view of the body. So you want to gain a balanced view by looking at the other half of the body, the inside part of the body. It won't make you cold or heartless or anything like that. It will just make you much more informed of the true nature of your body and everybody's body. That it's not, half of it is good looking, but the other half of it is not good looking.
Next question from Maya. Is there a rebirth, Thanachan?
What do you mean? This is not a question. Is it? We've been talking about rebirth for, I don't know, all the time already. So yes, there is always rebirth. Your mind, when your body dies, your mind will go and have a new body. That's when you get rebirth.
And next question from Tae In Hua. Dear Ajaan, in jhana, the mind or nama separate from the body or rupa, and on the breakup of the body, only nama is left. Besides the rebirth consciousness, what are the other aspects of the mind that knows?
What do you mean, the other aspect of the mind that knows? Everything that contains in the mind go with the mind. The four nama khandas go with the mind. And all the good and bad karma that committed also go with the mind.
And next question from Juliana. Namo Puthaya Ajaan Suchart. I would like to Can we choose any comfortable position while having sickness that cannot sit properly in the ideal sitting position temporarily? Do I need to force on the position or just switch to comfortable position temporarily? Anumodana.
Yes, you can stay in any position you like, but the important thing is to have mindfulness, to calm your mind.
And next question from Po Leung Soon. As a layperson, do we have to learn 5 aggregate and how to get rid of the 5 aggregate? Thank you.
If you want to become enlightened, then you have to study the 5 aggregates.
And next question from Po Leung Soon also. Can we liberate by only practicing samatha or vipassana?
You need both samatha and vipassana, but you don't practice them at the same time. They take turn. When you do samatha, then when you come out of samatha, then you do vipassana. Then when you finish with vipassana, you go back to samatha, back and forth. You need both.
And the 5th question from Po Leung Soon is, as the meditator, do we need to understand the 12 original dependent?
No, you don't really need to. You all have to understand the 3 characteristics of existence.
There are 2 questions from Lisa Tan. Good evening, Ajaan. The Buddha lacks of sleep because at night also teach the Deva. How many hours the Buddha sleep?
He taught the monk to sleep 4 hours a night. I think that's about how much he will sleep also.
And second question from Lisa Tan is, did the Buddha's supreme happiness surpass the physical tiredness?
Yes.
And the third question from Lisa Tan is it good or bad to use cannabis for medical purpose? Is it better to use other non-addictive medicine or better meditate? This is a physical sickness.
Yes, it's better not to use any addictive drugs because you can become addicted to it.
2 questions from Un. Good evening, Pante. I'm Un from Penang, Malaysia. Pante, please explain. The first question is, how to know in Samadhi the first, second, third, and fourth jhana, or all jhana state is just label?
You don't have to know them. You have to just keep on focusing on your meditation object, and then it will take you through the four stages of jhana.
And the last question is how to contemplate or investigate 4 elements from Lupa when out of jhana.
Well, you look, how is the body formed? The body is like a house. When you build a house, you need to have what? You have to have cement, you have to have sand, you have to have water, you have to have bricks. It's the same way with the body. When you build a body, what do you need to have? You have to have the water element, the earth element, the fire element, and the wind element. Without this 4 elements, then you cannot build a body. Yeah. The body needs the wind, like the air that you breathe is called the wind element. It needs water. The water that you drink is the water element. The earth is the food. The earth element is the food that you eat. They come from the earth. The rice, you have to use the earth to plant it. So, and the fire is the heat that keeps your body warm. The heat from the sun, for instance. So you have to have these 4 elements to build a body, to create a body. So this is how you contemplate or investigate. Is that all? No other question? Okay, we have a latecomer called Sulan, named Sulan. You want to say anything, Sulan?
Yeah, sorry, Ajahn. I came late again. Yeah, yeah, recently I actually got a bit angry. then afterwards I became very tired. So yeah, I'm trying to be more skillful with my emotions.
Yeah, you don't have enough mindfulness. So you might react emotionally to things. So you have to practice mindfulness and meditation a lot to be able to restrain your mind from reacting emotionally.
Yeah, I think it's quite silly of me on hindsight.
So you have to keep practicing mindfulness and meditation, okay? And you will have better control of your mind, of your emotion. All right, is that all the question you want to ask tonight?
Yeah, that's all. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, we have about 8 minutes left. So anybody in the room would like to ask questions, you can raise your hand and unmute the microphone. Anybody?
Eugene from Taiwan.
Eugene? Okay.
Pa Ajahn, you say if we want to introduce Buddhism to young people, can read the book. I find it How the Buddhas Taught, this one. But I think I read it before and buy a lot for my friends. They say it's very difficult to understand because inside use Old English and a lot of Pali. So for young people, it's difficult to read what the Buddhas taught. So you have more advice?
We'll search for other books. And like I said, did you search for what is Buddhism yet?
No, but this one is also okay. The Dhammapada for young people.
It's okay also, but yeah, I think what is Buddhism will give them a definition of what Buddhism is about.
The definition.
It defines what Buddhism is. What's the purpose? What's the teaching of Buddhism is about?
Okay.
So try to search for the word, what is Buddhism in the internet and see what you come up with.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a latecomer, Jonathan. Where are you now, Jonathan? In Thailand or back in America?
Good morning, Ajaan. I'm back in Seattle in America, and my 4-week-old daughter is here with me today, listening. So we just wanted to say hi, and I don't have any questions today.
You're planning to come back to Thailand sometime?
We are, yeah, sometime over the winter.
I see. Okay. Right now you're working in Seattle.
I'm taking a little bit of time off to just meditate and be with my my new daughter, and so I'm not working right now. So I have freedom for the year actually to travel and be in Thailand too.
You want to show her to us?
Sure.
Yeah.
She's ready.
How old is she?
4 weeks.
4 weeks. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
She's I'm learning a lot, but we listen to Dhamma talks and suttas each morning together, so it's really fun.
Good. Is she your first one?
She is, yeah.
Okay, good. All right. Happy to see you. Happy to hear from you.
Sounds good. Take care.
Bye-bye. Okay, we have another question from Kokseng. Kokseng.
Yeah. Yeah. Good evening, Rajan. Not so much of a question, but just some answers to Eugene about a very basic Buddhist book. I remember one of the very early Buddhist book I read was What Buddhists Believe by the late Dr. Sri Dhammananda of the Malaysia Buddhist Missionary Society. That one is, there are very little Pali words and it's very good for beginners. So I like to recommend that book to Eugene. Yeah. And yeah, and can I just also comment on what Belinda was saying about some of the social brands from different Buddhist schools? I mean, in my WhatsApp group of my University of Singapore Buddhist Society WhatsApp group, so there are many members who are from different traditions. Some are from the Pure Land, some from the Mahayana, some from the Theravada, and Theravada there are some from different schools as well. So what I would normally do is I usually associate and mingle with those people more towards the Theravada tradition, because the emphasis and the path is quite practiced by each of the members is quite different. So and then we try to respect each other. We try not to talk about because sometimes there'll be differences. So we only try to. So I would normally try to associate only with those people who are following the Theravada tradition. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? We have about 3 minutes left. Okay, looks like everybody has no question now. So maybe it's about time for me to say thank you for your participation in this tonight's meeting. I hope it helped you advance in your practice. And in the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
สาธุค่ะ
สาธุอาจารย์สาธุ
Thank you,
Bye everyone.